Good afternoon on what is a bright, clear but chilly day. It is Sunday the 6th of March. I am back in the Nook with a diminishing pile of parcels, and the next one I'm going to unbox this, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Is this one. It's from Lulu. I can tell by the packaging, so get enough packages from them. And inside we have this campaign of madness. Now my partner is particularly interested in this one because she wanted to know who was sending it to me, addressed as Master Pookie. Now I don't normally use that address, but here we go. But let's have a look at what is in here. Very nice looking hardback. Now, I've not reviewed this scenario, but I have played it. It is Carnival of Madness. It's from the same team as who did Highway of Blood, which was a exploitation horror scenario, essentially based upon the exploitation movies of the 70s. And this one carries the warning, extreme character insanity. And it's a 1970s scenario for Call of Cthulhu, available on the Miskatonic repository. So, the end is very nigh. On the evening of Friday, October the 30th, 1970, you're driving down the Aylesbury Turnpike in Western Massachusetts, headed for the Carnival Pandemonium. Most of the folks there tonight are families and couples just out for a bit of fun, games, and a little spooky excitement, but others are far more serious or even sinister purposes. Whatever your reason for being there, one thing is certain: everyone at the carnival this evening will experience things unimaginable in their darkest nightmares. You don't know it yet, but the part you play might determine the fate of all humanity. So this is a horror scenario set on the eve of Halloween at a carnival, and I think this is basically it's what it's really dealing up is a big slab. A big slab of Americana, as well as horror. So inside, we have. Let's have a look. A warning: body horror, graphic violence, drug use, adult language, gaslighting, mental health issues, all contained within the scenario. So don't play if you're going to. Obviously, don't play if you're going to have an issue with any of those. But this is a one-session scenario. I think it took us a bit longer than that, but it is intended to be played in one session. And being set on the Aylesbury Pike, it's probably you could set this in a modern version of Lovecraft Country if you wanted to. But we have in here lots of sort of period photographs, which echo really more earlier years. But we've got explanation of the plots of schemes of the carnies and their crew. Got a complete timeline of the cult behind the carnival. I mean, obviously, this doesn't necessarily all come out, but in play. But it's there for the benefit of the keeper. And we have really quite creepy carousel there. And advice on running this scenario and the manifestations of unreality which appear as you play through, and the classic carnival music plays, the lights flash and more, and the candy floss turns. And I know there's multiple ways to sort of like play this. You can play it sort of like we played it, sort of like as the meddling kids. So very sort of Scooby-Doo. Play as police investigators. They are. So we've got here's the meddling kids. I'm going to go back. Go very sort of very Scooby-Doo. and then we have police detectives, and they can be tied into so that's with 4 characters, 4 players. They can be sort of worked in with the same sort of investigators in Highway of Blood. And we here we are. We've got the entrance to the carnival with the clown sort of like pointing the way. So yes, this is not a scenario to play if you have a phobia of clowns. And there's the map of the location, the carnival itself. You can wend your way around it, visiting all the stalls and playing the games and so on. And that's really done as a nice little handout, a little flyer where all the locations are, what you can see, what you can do, and it's pulling you in for a night of bedlam. You know, Carnival Pandemonium, Lose Your Mind at the Asylum, fun and games, costumes, rides, visit the Astonishing Freak Show and so on. Which, you know, it doesn't do, not necessarily a freak show, but it's a case of they're mythos creatures or influenced. So we've got particular encounters at the various stalls, whether that's the bottle knockdown or the whack-a-monkey, or as we would call it, the whack-a-mole. Knife throwing, photo booth, bear hunts, ring tosses. You've got duck pond, a ball toss. Lots of different games you can play to win prizes. Then we get on to, you've got a bar, classic bar cover in the American Carnival, and then we've got a freak show where you can go inside and see the weirdness, such as that. And there's a lot of keyed events, timed events in here as well, which will depending upon, you know, where the player characters go, whether they're going to split up. So not everyone, unless the player stays together, the player characters, the investigators stay together, they're not always going to see everything. But you know, that's just how it goes. Then we have the main tent, the main circus, and things. Then we've got a looper playing Wheel of Fate carousels. And then description of the Porta Johns, and Pink Clowns, Tent Houses, the Cotton Candy Maker, and so on. And we've got there's all descriptions of the various locations upon it, in the carnival. And I understand we've got going to the asylum reservations. Essentially, it's Funhouse, but it's much more than that. That's where obviously where the keeper's going to dial up the horror and work to scare the player characters, and of course with the admonition at the end, you know, thank you, come again. And then the individual sort of like members of the carnival are described as, you know, and their locations. And then at the last we've got essentially what the chapters are, the timing for the scenario, because it's very much, there's a lot of timed events that will obviously key in on where the players are at any one time. So we've got listed those. And then the appendices provides all of the NPCs. And a mixture of freaks and cultists. So that includes Annabelle the Bearded Woman, Titanic Jack, the Damned Sailor, the Fantastic Frogman, aka Daniel Marsh, monsters, Wolves of Carcosa, and of course the very threat himself. And, new spells, bouts of madness, new items which you can add to your game, especially if you're playing something involving the Carcosa, and then and essentially as the investigators proceed through the circus, we have there are bouts of unreality which the keeper kindly inflict upon them. And then handouts we have the route of Arkham to Aylesbury, and then Carnival Pandemonium, and then various images you can give to your players as they progress. So yeah, this is a very nicely done book. You've got maps, one for the players, one for the keeper. If you are looking for a one shot to play with your group, it really is a really good choice. We've got basically sort of like this is a missing poster for Alice Lambert. This is almost incidental to what's going on, at least initially. Then we have that handout done in the style of basically a flyer for the circus itself, for the circus of the carnival, and that's really very well done. And on the other side is the map of all the locations. That's a really nice touch. It's a really thoughtful. A poster again elsewhere. Then the characters themselves. So everything you really kind of need to play a quite horrifying Carnival of Madness. And there's always a sense of unreality when it comes to the carnival, because it's not like everyday life. It's bright, it's glitzy, it's slightly, I'm not so cheesy isn't quite the right word, but there's a sense of unreality to it, and this really ramps that up. So that's Carnival of Madness, a really fun one-shot horror scenario set in the 70s. I really think this is worth trying out, especially on sort of like All Hallows Eve. There will be a review of it forthcoming as part of the Miskatonic repository, or Miskatonic Monday series of reviews. This will be my 99th review. There'll be a link down to that down below, which I'll have written. Well, by the time you watch this, I'll have written this several months ago. But in the meantime, I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click the like button down below, and of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to see me out here with a parcel from which I will unbox a book or game, which I will talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 2 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook, and I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.